What's up, everybody? It is I, Mr. Simmons, coming to you live from the Google Drive, talking about registration from your junior to senior year. We're going to be going over specifically your final year plan, the last capstone to your 4-year journey through high school. A lot of you guys are not new to this, so this will be review for a lot of you. But I want to make sure that you guys are informed so you know what specifically to sign up for and to get prepared for your future self. So let's get right into it. Today is going to be a click. There we go. Today is going to be a live question answer session. If you have questions, so a little bit longer advisory period, so you'll be able to ask these questions. What's going to happen is this link right here is linked to a question answer spreadsheet that a teacher will have access to. And what's going to happen is you're going to basically ask questions. Your advisor is going to type it into the question section, and counselors will be live checking it out to answer those questions. So if you watch this video, if you have you're going to have this video, you're going to have the slides, you're going to have the resources, but you have questions beyond that, feel free to jump in and ask us, because that's what we're here for. Let's go over graduation requirements. You guys feel like you've been told this since the day you were born, but we're going to keep going. There's 24 credits to graduate. Okay. Up on top of that, you need your culminating portfolio, which is now your high school and beyond plan, all in one, which is what we do in advisory. You have your Washington State history, which most of you took in middle school. And then you have your proficiency exams, which is the SBA. Okay. There's ways to pass those things, get those things done. If you feel like you're missing one of those, reach out to your counselor and we can help you out with that. But here's this. You know this: 4 years of English, 3 years of math, 3 years of social studies, 3 years of science, and a year of CTE. This bottom here is where we have like a little wiggle room, depending on your personal pathway. And you should know that personal pathway. If you don't, reach out to your counselor. But most will be on the general, this requirement right here. So moving forward again, here is a sample of your senior year. That is the wrong thing.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is the wrong thing. So I'm going to adjust this and we'll be right back.
I didn't know you were still recording. I
am. That's okay. Okay, we are back and we have the adjusted sample senior schedule. Sorry about that. I made an error. Anyway, so you're going to take one English and then you're going to take one social studies, which is going to be contemporary world, and you got 4 spots for electives. So these electives can be your an extra math, you could take an extra science, you could take an extra world language, you could take or fill in your boxes for those. Or if you did not do so well in some classes in your past, you can retake those to get better grades and or credit retrieval, things like that. So that is what the sample schedule for senior year. We do a lot of work in your freshman, sophomore, junior year in order to have those 4 spots for electives to give you guys a chance to either get in some classes that you're super interested in or make up some credit. So that is the sample schedule. Here is the English sequence. Okay, so you guys are in this area right here, grade 11. A lot of you guys will be going into, we have the straight across paths right here. Okay, if you're in HL and you're going full IB, you're going HL IB. Okay, if you're in SL1, that means you're thinking about that 4-year college after high school is your destination or possibly your destination. You're going to go SL. Okay, if you're in 11th grade English right now and you think that you might want to go to a 4-year college, and that might be in your plans, go to and I would suggest going SL. If you're thinking I want to go 2-year to 4-year, then I would, or not go to college, then I would say 12th grade English is just fine. But you can go down a step, but going down 2 steps would be wild, possibly. So I would check out that with your English teacher if you want to do that. But the main steps would be going 11th grade English to IBSL 2, just to open up for that, because that's like more of a college prep class. If you guys didn't know this, there's 2 different levels of IB. There's SL, which is standard level, and there's HL, which is higher level. The HL class is going to be pretty much a college course. The SL class is going to be pretty much a college preparatory class. while 12th grade English is more of a 12th grade exploratory English. So that is kind of the breakdown how that goes. And that's how it works. Okay. Moving forward, Sumner High School math sequencing. Okay. A lot of you might be done with your um, math credits. You might have gone through Algebra 2, or you guys have even gone through A&A or what have you, right? So A&A and A&I or what have you. So what's going to happen is now you have chances to take extra maths. If you're looking to go to a four-year school, I would say taking a math your senior year is going to be important. Due to the fact that you want to have that math fresh in your mind. A lot of colleges like to see 4 years in math, which we'll talk about in a couple slides. But that is kind of what the process would be. So if you're in Algebra 2 now, you can go to IB Math A&A or A&I. A&I is the more statistics track. A&A is the more calculus track. So once A&A and A&I are close to the same class, you can cross over. Make sure you talk to your teacher about that. So that is kind of how that works. Basically, your math teachers right now are going to be your biggest resource for what you want to accomplish and figure out. So I would check with them. If you financial algebra is also a fourth year option if you want to do that. Okay, more breakdowns of IB Math. Which one should you take? So think about your future. Think about the major that you want to go into if you're going to a four-year college. Okay, so the A&A is more calculus approaches. So if you're going into physical sciences, engineering, mathematics, you'd want to look at the A&A. If you are looking to go into social sciences, medicine, business stuff, you're going to look for the A&I approaches because that is more statistical, mathematical problem solving. So those are the two different breakdowns. Again, your teacher is going to be your best source of information for that, but that is just kind of the tip of the iceberg for the information in a nutshell for math. Moving on to your science, a lot of you are done with science. If we're staying on track, so you get a chance to pick up an elective science, all for you. So there's our general sciences, there's our IB sciences, our general sciences, our plant sciences, our vet sciences, our agricultural sciences, but the word I was looking for. So there's our general sciences, our agricultural sciences. We have the IB SL sciences, which are IB physics and IB chem. Then we have our higher level one, which is our IB bio. Also, what we have is our tech sciences, which is our 2-for-1s, which we'll talk about a little bit later too. But we have robotics and you have Core Plus. Those are CTE classes, which also will double as a science credit. So if you're looking to get into science again, by all means, check all those options out. Okay, you guys are on the bottom row here. The social studies sequence. You guys are taking either contemporary world or IB 20th century history. Completely up to you. Maybe check with your U.S. history teacher of which class you might want to take next year. And that's kind of how that works. Okay, so that's social studies. Everybody's taking C-Dub at one way or another. Here are the caters, which we talked about earlier. Okay, so these are the colleges, the four-year colleges in Washington. So if you are one that wants to go to a four-year college, I would look at which ones you want to be as a goal, and I would go after which one some of those are, right? So our Sumner High School graduation requirements are very similar to the caters for most colleges. Some have more, some have a little bit different ones, but that's kind of the gist of it, right? So if you're thinking about going to University of Washington, I would say it says 3 to 4. 3 to 4 means 3, but you probably should do 4, to be honest with you. 2-3 science means 2, but you probably should do 3, if that makes sense. So these are suggestions. These are the caters. These are the requirements. So going above and beyond those requirements, if you want to get accepted into one of these schools, then I would suggest shooting above the caters. But that is kind of what to think about if you're choosing electives, if you're looking to go to a specific four-year school that's listed here. Okay. Here's the 2-for-1s, which we glanced on a bit earlier. We have our third-year maths, which will count for these guys. Make sure you pay attention to what's over here, what's offered at Sumner High School and what's offered at Bonnie Lake. This is a little bit older, so some of them aren't accurate. Like in the previous presentation, I noticed that robotics was only offered at BLHS. That was a lie. Shout out to Mr. York for bringing the robotics program to your hometown of Sumner High School. Well, I don't know if it's his hometown. I don't think it's his hometown, but it's your hometown, juniors of Sumner High School. So we got robotics here. Got Core Plus that counts. So Core Plus counts as a lab science and a CTE. Okay. Arts. So yearbook counts as a arts and a CTE. Same with IB film. Same with creative design, digital photography. All these up here, right? So I would be thinking about those if you want to take those type of electives, what they count for, and pretty cool to have, right? So moving forward, okay. Here is your course catalog. I'm not sure if it will be 100% updated if it's ready, honestly, by this time this airs, right? But it might be. I think it should be. So, but by the time I'm filming this, which is in the middle of January, this might change, but we don't have the updated course. But this is the website. This will have the most updated course catalog. If it's last year's, it'll be about the same. There's going to be a couple things that have changed, but you'll have the general idea of what we're offering next year to look at. And if you have questions about what classes you want to take, if you want to dig more deeper into which classes there are, if you see, I don't know what yearbook's about, let me see what that is. So there's going to be a write-up about yearbook and what that means and what's offered in the class. Okay.
Jumping in real quick to talk to you guys about some of the new classes that we have coming in at Sumner High School starting next year. Okay, these are not something that you may have heard about because you haven't heard about them because they're brand new, right? So I want to be able to pitch these a little bit because you may miss over them when you look at your course catalog because they're unknown until now. Okay, so here we go. Intro to Programming through Game Design 2. As you can imagine, it's a progression onto Intro to Programming through Game Design 1. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be using Unity game design software, which is a more accelerated approach to designing some games, right? So and later on in the semester, you'll be able to use advanced game design tools or like augmented reality and virtual reality headsets. That's pretty cool. Intro to Programming through Game Design 2. Okay, cybersecurity is next. Big field in our future is cybersecurity. You got to protect yourself, right? So the semester starts out with introductions. You're going to have your personal digital footprint. So who you are, what you do on the internet, and how much that matters, and how much people can track, and things like that. Got to protect yourself. Okay. Then it's commercial and cybersecurity. So how companies have taken measures to protect their data and protect themselves. And maybe some stories about how they did not very much protect themselves, right? Then learn how to identify threats and problems that can happen. Problems that can happen to you or others. Remember, real thing is protect your neck. Finally, we have JROTC, okay? We have the Army coming in. This is a preparation for military service. It not necessarily mean you are committed to your military service, but you ever thought about it? You ever thought about or want to learn basically about how those things work? That's a good spot to start. Okay, you start off with the history and geography of the world, and then it goes into past and current international relations like diplomatics, economics, microeconomics, things like that. Finally, we have the community building and team development aspect as part of that as well. And then we also have some extracurricular opportunities and field trips that go along with JROTC. So if you're interested in that, I would check it out. There we have it. Back to your regular scheduled program.
So here are your resources, okay? This is the slides from last week. This is the 4-year planning worksheet, today's assignment, which we're going to go over in just a second. This is the assignment from last week. If you haven't done that, I would do that because it is a graded assignment in advisory. And then here's your course code list. So this course code list is going to be a list of all the possible courses that will be offered to your specific grade. There's a couple tabs down at the bottom. If you're in a specific grade, the current 11th grader is going to be looking at the current 11th grade page. So that's what's offered to 11th graders. So that's kind of the resources, right? So the slides from last week, if you need to get caught up, the credit check worksheet, if you need to get caught up as well. And then you have the 4-year plan worksheet. Oh, look at this. Oh, wait, it does. For some reason, student here doesn't, not hyperlinked, but credit worksheet is. So if you don't know, now you know. So there's that. Okay, resources. Okay, planning for next week. We have this, right? So today you have a little extended period of time to work on this 4-year plan worksheet. This is your planning for next year. You're going to take the assignment today and you're going to use it specifically for you're going to use it specifically for registering for classes next week or in 2 weeks. No, next week. The 6th is when the registration opens. So you're going to use it specifically when that happens. So you just basically copy it over to the registration. Next week's lesson is going to have Miss Paulson going over how to register. I believe a lot of you guys know how to do that, but we'll make sure that we have this down, right? So if you have questions about what classes, if you have questions about your pathway, if you have questions about if you're not sure if this goes here or there, when you're filling out your 4-year plan, that's what this link here is for, teachers. You'll be able to go on this and answer any questions and get any questions answered that come up in your classroom. Okay. That is that piece. Okay. I'm going to go over the assignment that we have today. Here's the 4-year plan worksheet. Okay. So I have this filled out so far, right? I'm Alec Simmons. My advisor is Mr. Sandberg. He's a great advisor. And these are the classes that I've taken, right? So I went to 10th grade English. I went 9th grade English. I went to Honors 10 English. And then, I went Geometry, Algebra 2, IB Math. And these are like what we're at, right? So these are all my classes that I had in 11th grade. And then I'll have my 12th grade classes here, okay? So we're doing electives. So basically you to choose what you want to do. So maybe I want to go IBSL 2. And then I don't want to take the IB C-Dub. And I'm going regular contemporary world here. Drop-down boxes make things a lot easier. These electives here are not drop-down because there's so many electives. I don't think I could even do that. If we put all electives in a drop-down box, you'd be scrolling forever. So here's how you do it, right? So maybe you want to do core plus aerospace. Core plus aerospace. That would be a full year class, right? And then maybe you want to do, I don't know, maybe you're a band person. So you're in band. Okay, you're in band. And then maybe you want to further your learning in world language. You want to do Spanish 3. Okay, those are all your classes, right? So the thing that we didn't really include in here because there's not a lot of space for it is our alternates. So we're gonna be able to do this too, right? So if you have this one, maybe the last one is gonna be beginning draw and paint, and this one's gonna be individual fitness. And that will be rounding out what I need for my academics the rest of the year, right? The way that we can do alternates, if you want to remind yourself, is like you can abbreviate some of these, right? So maybe you don't need to write aerospace because you know what that means, core plus means. So you'll write a slash here, and you'll say also it's going to be nutrition and fitness. Okay, and then maybe your other alternate's going to be slash alternate class. What do you think? What do you think? Digital photo? Digital
Sure,
photo.
sure.
Digital photo. Thank you, Ms. Bronger, for suggesting that class. And then that's how you can put in alternates. So when you register, you'll be able to register for 6 credits, and you'll have 2 credits open for registering for your alternates. It's important to know that when you choose your classes for registration, doesn't mean you're getting those classes, but you're registering for those classes. You're basically voting for those classes that you think should be offered next year. So we take those requests and we turn them into how many people want that class, so how many seats can fit in the classroom, and if we fill up a classroom, that will count as a class. So we kind of just go through it that way. That's how we build the schedule. So if you really want something, register for it, okay? But if people don't register for something, then that means that we're not going to offer a class. So register for the classes that you want, and hopefully we get into those classes. If you have any questions, reach out to, if you have any questions, ask your advisor during this session. and they will be able to ask live on the Google Drive like we are right now. And we will be, well, it's in January, so it's not specifically live, but it's a nice rhyme. Anyway, ask your question to your advisor. They'll be able to ask the questions on the spreadsheet. Your counselors will answer the questions on the spreadsheet. And then also you can always reach out to your counselor via email and or set up an appointment. There we have it. Okay. That's all I got. If you have any questions, hit up the spreadsheet and we will catch you next week. Bye.